First question will be Irish Novel from Warchant.
Hey, Coach, how's it going?
Going well. How about yourself?
I'm good. You mentioned last week when we talked about Jordan, how he processes information pretty quickly. Like if you guys give him advice during a game, he can usually apply it during a game. The interception he threw was probably the first time we've seen him do something like that. What was the conversation like after that? What did he tell you, and what did you talk to him about?
I mean, just being aggressive and understanding that we need to be able to be aggressive while being smart. I mean, at the same time, that was the time in the fourth drive of the second half. We go down and should have scored the first drive, have a bonehead penalty. Second drive, we're backed up. We have an MA. Third drive, they just beat us. Fourth drive, we try to be a little more aggressive and understanding, hey, it's not there. Go run, get 3 yards, and get down. And that guy made an incredible play. But for him, there's times to force the ball, and then there's times to be ultra conservative. And that was just a learning situation for him that based off the time and the score and the situation of the game, that's not a time to be aggressive. That's time that we're calling a shot to be wide open or not. It's not a forced decision. That's a wide open or not situation. So great learning experience for him.
Next will be Pat Burnham from Osceola.
Hey, Coach. Just wanted to ask you about, I don't know how far you're into your film study on Louisville, but just your overall impressions of them on defense.
Athletic. I mean, they could be the most athletic defense we faced all year. Just pure team speed. Obviously it's Monday afternoon, so I don't want to get too much in depth about it. But, the thing that jumps off the tape is team speed and athleticism. It's all over the field at every position.
Next will be Chris Nee from Noles 247.
Hey, Coach, can you talk about that last drive of the first half, calling it, watching it get executed, what Jordan was able to do there in the last minute?
Well, the plan was, hey, we had a lead, so we were going to start with a safe call, start with a quarterback run, try to, see if we could get into a rhythm. If we get an explosive run, get a first down, then we were going to be aggressive. If that would have gone for a gain of 3, we probably would have gone into halftime. So we went with a super safe call, got the ball in the hands of a playmaker, see if we get explosive. Once we hit that, we knew what we were coming with, being aggressive from an FSL formation. If we got that, so we came back with it, scrambled around a little bit. And from there, we kind of had our set based off of our game plan, what we wanted to run, and got guys isolated to the field in one-on-one situations. Jordan made a nice play, and the rest was history. But the drive was all predicated off that first play. That first call was kind of the litmus test of what are we going to do with this drive. And Jordan extended plays. And the thing about it is it could have been a lot better. I mean, I think we had 5 busts on that 2-minute drive. And we overcame those busts, but until we remove that, it's going to cost us eventually. Didn't cost us in that drive. It worked out great, but it's going to cost us eventually until we get it fixed.
Next will be Kurt Weiler from Tallahassee Democrat.
Without Tamori and Saturday, obviously it was going to fall on some guys to kind of step into bigger roles. It seemed like there were some struggles early. I know a drop and maybe a miscommunication of some sort, but each of those guys I think you were really counting on came through with a big play and a big moment over the course of the game. Just what can you speak to about how they handled that?
They did. I mean, Pokey was a guy I keep telling him, he keeps preparing at an elite level. You talk about a guy who's giving extreme effort every single day in everything he does. That's what Pokey's doing right now. And you're just so excited for a kid like that when, he has a drop. That's fine. I'll throw the ball to Pokey in that situation another 100 times out of 100 times because he is a consistent football player. He just made a bad play there. And then how he responded with making that explosive catch down the field, beating the safety in a one-on-one situation, all game with his effort, that's who Pokey is. And I was super happy for the kid. Obviously, we'd like to have that one catch, but he responded extremely well to it, and he played his butt off all night. And now I've been extremely, I cannot express enough, happy with how Pokey's preparing and how much he's giving effort on game day.
Hey, Kenny, what areas have you seen the most growth from Jordan Travis the last couple of weeks?
I think for him, he's got a calm demeanor to begin with, so that's not an area of necessarily growth. But I think for him, when he got out of the pocket this week, it wasn't let's just run. We talked about it all last week. When you get out of the pocket, extend passing plays. Don't turn passing plays into runs. And I thought he did a great job of extending those passing plays. And we had a big scramble to Keyshawn Helton, and we had a big touchdown in the red zone to Cam McDonald because he just extended those passing plays. And I think the more comfortable he gets playing quarterback, obviously we have to improve as a football team on just quick passing game and being able to win one-on-ones on slants, throw one-on-ones on slants. But when we are escaping the pocket, that is something that we improved on this week as opposed to the prior, based off of just scrambling alone and everybody working for the quarterback. 2 huge explosive plays in the football game, just off that alone.
Next will be Antoine Staley from Tallahassee Democrat.
Coach, Webb ended up rushing for 100 yards on Saturday night. Just talk about his growth as a player, and also what does him having a performance like that, how does that help out Travis's growth and also performance as well?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, that's a guy who you talk about a competitor. I mean, if you had the one word to describe him, competitor, because every single rep, he wants the ball. And if he doesn't have the ball, he wants to do his job better than anybody else in America. And when he has that success, it feeds everybody because he's a guy everybody roots for. There's some guys that when they have success, everybody gets excited for. He's one of those guys. And when he has those big runs, when he's running down the field blocking for our quarterback, when he's in pass protection, stepping up and hitting a 250-pound linebacker in the chin, those fuel everybody. So I love seeing him succeed because he deserves it. Because the passion he plays the game with is how all 11 should play all the time.
Hey, Kenny, kind of with that in mind, on La'Damian's big run to begin the second half, you got Pokey Wilson running downfield, like really fast to try to make a block. Jordan Travis getting downfield. Pope, I think, blocked someone about 20 yards downfield. That kind of effort, I guess, what does that say about where this team's mindset is at right now?
We're getting better. Not to be confused with good, we're getting better. And for us, we have to continue that. It's like I said, I say it every week. It's boring every week. We have to continue to get better. And if we just focus on that, we're going to wind up being pretty darn good. But right now, we got to continue to get better. And that effort is why we won the football game. Had nothing to do with X's and O's. Had nothing to do with if we blocked the right people, blocked the wrong people. The difference in that football game was we gave more effort in that game than we had all year. And when games come down to one play, I can't tell you which one of those plays that we gave extreme effort on that mattered, but I can tell you, you add them all together, and that was the difference.
Hey, good afternoon, Kenny. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Pretty good, thanks. Hey, I want to ask you about the, I guess it's, for lack of a better word, a pop pass that you did with to Preston Daniel. And I guess, first of all, just kind of break down how that play kind of came about in the planning for that. And then the fact that in a tough situation, you guys are backed up. You put a freshman walk-on, put trust in him. What does that say about Preston Daniel?
Well, he's one of the smartest football players I think myself or Coach Thompson have ever been around. He's like a steel trap. If you tell him something, he'll never forget it. Good and bad. I mean, he'll remember things we told him in fall camp versus our own defense. We'll be like, no. That was just that look. But he's just a steel trap. And because of that, you can have a little trust in him. And we saw just throughout the week and game plan wise, certain formation, we could get a safety removed from the core. And we could basically work 2 verticals off of a pop pass off of 1 safety. Jordan Travis faked the run, and then whichever way the safety works, he's got to throw opposite of it. And it just kind of worked out how we planned it. Everybody executed their job, and it's really good and exciting to see 11 guys do the same thing, do the correct thing in that situation, and it be executed and have an explosive play.
We'll go back to Pat from Norvell.
Hey, Coach. Coach Norvell mentioned that, it was important for this team to build off the North Carolina win. How big is it an advantage as a coach to have, you played really well the first half, not so well, he said, stub toe in the second half. How big is an advantage as a coach is it to have all that film to teach off of and avoid any kind of letdown?
Well, obviously, you always want to get better. So I would rather have had, 2 halves like the first one and had a little less film to teach off of. But every time you step on the field, there's an ability to get better. And we can look at the second half, and that's what we really focused on yesterday was, I think we had a correction period yesterday in practice. We had 17 corrections, and that's not even all the corrections, but 17 plays in that football game. I think we had around 58, 60 snaps, somewhere in that area, right? And 17 of those we have to fix in corrections. For all the good and all the explosiveness we have, there's a lot of room for growth. And that's what excites me, because if we continue to get better, we're starting to become more explosive. And I said it earlier in the year, good offenses are either extremely consistent or they're explosive. We weren't consistent last night or on Saturday, but we were explosive, right? Now we need to find that balance where we can be explosive and consistent, right? And that's what great offenses are, explosive and consistent. We showed in Notre Dame we could be a little more consistent. We showed this last week we could be explosive. We gotta find a week and put it all together.
All right, last one. Like the Ira from Warchant.
With the zone read type stuff, those types of plays, I don't know if we always know whether or not they're true zone reads or not, but do certain quarterbacks have a knack for that? Had Jordan done that much earlier in his career, like going back to high school or anything? And how has he come in terms of just handling the mesh point and that kind of thing?
Yeah, Jordan couldn't run zone read at all until I got him and just completely fixed him. But no, he just has a completely natural knack for it. It's as simple as that. He's just one of those guys that gets it, has a great feel for it from that standpoint. So it's just something that comes natural to him, and I'm glad it does because he's really good at it, and he makes us right a lot, and just natural, 100%.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you. Y'all have a great day.